Hey guys, it's Eric from foundersbeta.com, and we're back with another episode on Founder Interview. And today I have Sylvia from Creative Genius. So thanks so much for joining today, Sylvia.
Oh, you're welcome.
So yeah, let's dive into the questions. We're going to tackle this in like 20 minutes or so. So yeah, so can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your business?
So hello, my name is Sylvia. I'm an artist and art educator, and I also run a nonprofit. So as an artist, I paint and I do commissions for people, bring art to beautify home and business spaces. So as a business owner, I run an art school called Creative Genius Art Academy that is located in downtown Markham, Ontario. So my biggest passion is art and education, and I love to see people of all ages create art.
Awesome. And, we talked about your business, and you recently also provide classes online as well, right?
Yeah, so this year, because of COVID, we have online classes. So because of online classes currently happening, we have international students. So we have students from England, London, Quebec, Brampton, California, USA. So those are some really exciting things for us at the moment.
Great. And what's the age category as well for your
Oh, so
classes?
our youngest is 4 and our oldest is 68. I mean, there's really
Oh, okay.
no age
Yeah, yeah,
limit.
yeah. Okay, that's awesome. Great. So maybe talk about your early days. Like, how did this idea come about, or how did you begin your, entrepreneurship journey?
Yeah, so I actually never thought I would be like a business owner. I actually thought I was going to be like a high school art teacher or an
Mhm.
artist. So
Yeah.
how it started is, so I graduated with a bachelor's of fine arts from Concordia University. And then afterwards, my aunt especially was saying, "Oh, Sylvia, you should you should go into something that has a bit more of a stable career in the future." So she thought about an art teacher would be the most stable. So she recommended me to apply for a bachelor's of education at University of Toronto. So I applied to there and I got in. And to my amazement, I actually really enjoyed my course there, learning about the importance of education for young people. So there, it sparked my second passion, which is education for people in general, especially with a focus with art. So after I graduated with a bachelor's of education, I was teaching as an art teacher at a private school. So while I was there, I had some parents asking me whether I teach after school art programs.
Right.
So I said, yes, I could teach after school art programs. So I started with 2 students in my base
Nice.
learning about art. And then afterwards, through the word of mouth, it started growing into like 6 people in my basement. And then eventually I needed to use my kitchen living room because it got to like
Right.
10, 11, and I can't fit them all in my basement. And then eventually it got more and more, and it made me, I guess, more income than teaching at the private school.
Mhm.
So within half a year, I stopped the private school and I started teaching from home full time. And when it got to like too many students, I can't fill my basement or living space. I actually have an idea of renting like an office space to test out this idea
Right.
of like an art school. So the following year, I believe it was 2015. So I rented my first 1,000 square foot office space. It was called Sylvia Chan Art School. So
Right.
everything, me teaching, me managing and everything. So during that first year, I hired my first employee, Brian. And within that first year, we literally doubled our number of students. And we noticed that there's more and more students that wanted to have art classes at the office location.
Right.
So the following year, we decided to have our first commercial location, which is the one right now. So
Nice.
so with the commercial location, within the first year, we hired around 25 teachers. So it was a really big expansion. And now we have 400 students that come weekly to our art school. So this was before COVID, of
Right.
course. So so that's the journey from like teaching in the basement to owning like having the first commercial location. So the next plans and steps that I have for the business is we are currently buying a second location to have our classes in. So we're having a second location November to end of this year, and we're going to have it open for students January 2021, and we're going to have both online and in studio classes. Yeah. So anyway, that's our next goal: having a second
Right.
location. Yes.
Right, right. Yeah, I think it's quite been challenging, right? Because with COVID and how did you make the transition to online? Like how did that go so far?
Oh, so I mean, just when we heard that COVID is happening and everything's going to be in the lockdown,
Hmm.
so we literally just like adapt to the situation.
Right.
I never taught online art classes before,
Hmm.
but I had my my garbage can and my computer laptop.
Oh God. Yeah, set up, right?
I set it up, made it work, started implementing it. So it was like a week after the lockdown, we started opening online classes and making that
Nice.
accessible for students. So I feel like because we are so like adaptable, we were able to like still have revenue coming in to make
Right,
sure
right.
the business survives and not die. So it was like a fight or flight mentality. It's
Right,
like,
absolutely.
yes, online classes.
Right. Actually, I think it's in some ways too. Now you do a combination of both, right? Because I mean, who knows, what's going to happen in coming weeks or months, right? So, but yeah, but I think it's great to have that sort of mentality of adopting and just not just standing there. You know, you got to make a decision, you got to move, right? So,
Yeah.
so I think that's great. Awesome. So let's move on to the next question. So obviously you have a lot of, you have a wealth of experience, building what you're doing right now. Can you talk about like, what tips do you have for like first time founders? They're just starting out. Um,
Like I personally, I feel like integrity is really important for like the overall business. Doing the things that you say you will do, the time that you say you will do it by, and also communication skills as well with the people that you work with your clients, with the parents. A lot of it is like people skills. I
right.
find that if you can relate and like have conversations with the parents that relating to like the kids and how they can benefit from like your business services, then that's really good to have. Like, so it'd be communication skills, being able to relate to people and to know what their needs are and how your services can help them. Yeah.
Right. Okay, great. Yeah, so moving on to the next question. We have, let's talk about mistakes, because I'm already laughing, right? Because, as a founder, we all make so many mistakes. And what do you usually see, or what do you recommend people avoid doing, or, to get their business off the ground?
So I find that it's really important to plan like early and not later, because if you lack planning, it's things are going to happen that you unexpected to happen, and then you will have to adapt to it. So I personally like to plan things ahead of time. I have everything on my calendar to make sure if there's any hiccups, it gives me enough leeway and time to like problem solve those. Another tip is actually hiring the right people, because if
Right.
you hire the wrong people, they really affect your business. So I remember I hired someone because a friend recommended the person, but because her performance was not to the standard I was looking for, I had to I had to fire her within like 2 weeks,
Right.
because so just because friends recommend you people doesn't mean that it's always the right people. Uh, and also when they are making too many mistakes, it's best
Mhm.
to fire them early than later
Right.
on, just
Right.
because it minimizes the impact it has on your business.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
my main thing now is if someone I hired is making like 2 to 3 mistakes and they're not willing to learn from it or grow or change, then they are definitely going to be like it's not good for the business.
Right. Right. Exactly. And I think I think one of the best ways is it's like you know, if it's not working out, you got to make that decision, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, recruiting is a contact sport too, right? Like you have to you can't participate from the sidelines. So when you bring on somebody new as well, you got to, you know, give them a great chance and then see if it's a fit. And especially for like, you know, for a small team too. I feel like that's really hard to get right, right? So yeah, because oftentimes it's like, you know, even you bring on someone, but especially for startups, because it's a lot of challenges, right? Like as well, because somebody who can take initiative, own the project, many things, right? So, but I think those are great tips. Do you have any other tips in terms of like team building or things
Yeah.
that you do to kind of keep it like, you know, together or stay motivated, you know?
Yeah, so with my teachers, I do talk to them like frequently in terms of like when they come into the studio or they're online. So I like to stay in touch with the teachers, making sure that the classes are running smoothly. But there's always like a form of communication, respecting their time, uh, and also I feel like with my staff, we're very like we're what's the word best word for it, like you know how there's some businesses where there's a lot of people talking behind each other's back, a lot of
Right,
dramas.
right, right, right. No politics, you mean, right? Maybe.
Yeah, so with me and my teachers, we're very like very straightforward, very blunt. I do tell them if there's anything that like I do that is bothering them or anything like of
Hmm.
their concern, like they can always open up and tell me. And for me, I like to listen to what matters to them because
Hmm.
like they are someone that's on my team. So whoever's on my team, I make sure they're well taken care of. So if there's anything that bothers them, like I want to know what it is. So.
Right, right. Yeah, because I think communication is such a key, you know. Because I think in some bigger companies they say open policy, but really, like yeah, you got to implement that, right? I think yeah, just having that open communication channels with your team members, I think it's the key. And what about right now? Like, how do you stay in touch, or like, do you do any culture building, or I mean, before COVID, you know, you could do many things, go out, you know, all that is out the window, right?
Yeah, so I mean, nowadays we like to share our students' artwork and their individual artwork too. So
Hmm.
we stay in touch with, like, for example, if I finish an oil painting, I post it up on Instagram, and then that's our group where we can like share our artwork. Because I feel like besides us like being teachers, we also have a passion in the arts.
Hmm.
So it's like a nice way of us to kind of relate to each other as artists. So
Right.
my team, like we're all artists, we love art. So by sharing that common interest and also helping each other grow as an artist, I think
Hmm.
that's where we find a common ground where we can have like deeper communication with like things that really matter to us.
Right, right. Great. Those are great pointers for our audience. Great.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this is one of my favorite topics, off work, you know. As a founder, you know, we all tend to get so busy. I mean, you're managing so many things. You know, how do you avoid getting burnout and how do you stay motivated?
So for me, I love what I do, so it doesn't feel like work.
Hmm.
I also I'm very like efficient. I like things done in the most efficient way,
Hmm.
and I do take action in making sure things are done in general. So for me to not have a burnt out, I have a lot of hobbies that I really enjoy.
Right.
So my hobbies is breaking. So in a media term, it's breakdancing. So
Okay.
I really like breakdancing. It's like another art form where I can like express myself. Besides that, I do regular painting. I go to a gym often for any stress reliever. So gym is great.
Right.
Um, and also being connected with your friends. So I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs that get so focused in what they do, especially in the beginning of a new like startup. But I find that for my own mental health, it's good to like connect with friends and telling them if there's anything that's bothering me, they will be my go-to to listen.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's great.
have hobbies is really important though. So yeah, something that's
Great.
different from your business. Okay.
Right, right. Yes, something outside normally what you do. That's awesome. Those are another great tips. Yeah, let's talk about. I always ask this question on guests on Founders Beta. What's the best advice you ever gotten?
So one of my mentors, he runs his own music company. So the advice I got from him that stuck with me ever since I started my business actually
Hmm.
is the three ingredients for success, any successful business. So imagine a chair. So it has three legs. So the three ingredients, imagine one of the leg is focus. So being able to focus on the given task and making sure it's complete. Action, which is actually doing the work. And then the third one is passion. So loving what you do is also really important. So if any of those are missing in the chair, it will collapse. So if you're, for example, you're not focused, then there's not going to be a lot of results. If there's no action, like that's also no results. So for passion, if passion is missing, whatever you do, it's going to feel like it's not so meaningful to you, and you're just doing it for the sake of it, but it's not something you really enjoy doing. Yeah, so that I take that with me everywhere I go. So if there's something I need to do, I make sure action is there. I make sure I'm very focused, and I make sure that passion is there, so
Right,
that my energy and enthusiasm is in the task itself.
right. How do you make sure your passion is there? How do you go about doing that?
Oh, so I mean, I feel like that's like part of self-discovery, finding what you really enjoy doing. So I know for me, I love art, like painting, drawing, and I also love working with young people, and I
Right,
love mentoring them and communicating with them in any way that would help them, like if for their future. So, so I find that when you find something that you really love to do and being able to have it in a business, that's like the best combination. So for me, I run an art school. It's like I love art, education, working with young people. So my passion is already in my business. The rest is focus and action. Yeah.
right. Excellent.
That's
Yeah,
like implementation. Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, so the to wrap things up, where can our audience learn more about you, about your business, or even if they can come check out your classes, whether it's online or offline.
Yeah, so you can find Creative Genius Art Academy. I'm just going to show you guys here. Yeah. So Creative Genius Art
Nice.
Academy, you can find us on Facebook. So Creative Genius Art Academy, the words for on Facebook. And then Instagram, you can also find us. And our website is www.creativegeniusartacademy.ca. Yes.
Awesome. Great. Well, Sylvia, thank you so much for joining me today to share your startup journey. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you on Founders Beta. And yeah, we can't wait to see the next development with both your online classes and hopefully offline as well. So
The second location. Yeah.
yes. Okay. Awesome. Thanks again, Sylvia.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay. Cheers.